Bada boom, bada bang, bada bop. We are back with the GOAT for Goat Talk Volume 1 featuring the Salomon Aero Glide 3. I test so many shoes here on this channel. Is something crazy, like an average of 2 to 3 new shoes a week, some weeks even more. So what I wanted to do is circle back to my favorite daily trainer, potentially of all time, here, and get some mileage now that we're deep into this marathon training build. So if you are looking for a new shoe, welcome, you're in the right place. You should also check out my app. It's called the Supwell App. We have the best buy, sell, and trade marketplace out there. I actually have seen a few of these pop up for well below MSRP. I don't know why people are selling them, because it's the best gosh dang shoe out there. But you can find shoes like this. You can find shoes like the Mag Max. You can find shoes like the Puma Fast R3, race shoes, daily trainers, max cushion shoes. People buy them, they don't work for them, or they're stockpiling them and they decide they want to get rid of them, so they'll sell them for well below MSRP. We also have the best training community out there. People post all their stats, people post all their stuff about their journey, being accountable, getting after it. So if that's what you're looking for, a great deal, a great community, or some great inspiration, get in with us on the Supwell app and enjoy today's video. It's another Monday morning in Mint Hill, and it's a great day to get mileage. And you know what we're doing? We are going back to an old favorite, the Salomon Aero Goat 3. Man, in July, I tested so many new shoes. It's wild. I tallied it up. I counted it. I think it was 15 new shoes by the end, which is just crazy. And with testing that many shoes, that means basically every other day, I'm taking a new shoe out of the box. I don't have that much time to run on my old favorites. Even with the afternoon doubles, I'm trying to test new things and put miles on the shoes that I just got out. So a shoe like this, one of my favorite daily trainers of all time, it doesn't get much love. So today we're going back to it. Going back to an old friend here, the Aero Glide 3. Why did I love this thing so much earlier in this year? Well, big stack of lightweight, bouncy foam. Feels like it has the perfect amount of cushion for daily miles. Just enough protection, just enough speed. It's a totally well-rounded shoe. There's basically nothing wrong with it when it comes to the ride. You get a wide base here for some good stability. The upper is comfortable. It fits well. It actually does fit. Maybe some people say half an inch long. I don't mind the extra length in a daily trainer. The upper is decently nice. It's good padding on the tongue. Everything about it is just an awesome shoe. And I've been thinking about doing my top 5 all-time daily trainers. Man, this has to be up there. Sounds like there's someone yelling over there, but I actually think it might just be a malfunctioning car engine or something. So today we're going back to this, gonna do some high mileage on it. I just want to get my mileage up, man. I've been focused a lot on the shoes. July I had to get so many new shoes out. We also do have more shoes coming. The Ghost Max 3 dropped, the Vomero Plus dropped, the Wave Sky 9 dropped. There's always shoes dropping. I also need to just train. I'm really putting in work for this sub 230, so today we're just going to get after it. High mileage day. I did 20-mile long run yesterday, actually 21-mile long run with 12 miles at marathon pace. I did a 10-mile tempo at marathon pace and then 2 miles at marathon pace to finish out that run. Woke up feeling pretty beat up this morning. I'm not going to lie. My calves were feeling it from running in that fast R3. So we'll just see how recovered I am this morning. But historically, one of my strengths has been being able to do stuff like that and then coming back out here and doing high mileage days. So we shall see. I want to bump up my mileage again in August. July, I focused a lot on marathon pace. So August, try to get that mileage back up over 100 and do some faster workouts again to, just keep chipping away at that marathon pace from both angles. We build the endurance with the higher mileage. The mosquitoes on me. We build the endurance with the higher mileage. That's where we pull for shoes like the Aero Glide. And then on our fast days, man, I really want to work on getting more strength and power in my stride, so doing some faster workouts again. So today is all about the mileage, baby. Let us lace up the Aero Goat 3. And the other nice thing out here is slightly cooler. Seems that August we're going to have a break from the heat Now, summer is not over by any means, but we just had relentless heat through July. Every day I would wake up and the watch would tell me high of 97, high of 98. So we're going into a nice period here where the highs are in the low 80s and high 70s. That's going to be a really nice break. So good time to get the mileage back up because it's not going to be as much stress on the body. Because, dude, running high mileage in the heat like that, absolutely brutal. I was just gassing out on 2-hour morning runs in the 90-degree heat, but that's what really builds the strength, because then I could come out and do what we did yesterday, which was a 10-mile tempo and a big long run. All right, got these guys on feet. Comfortable, fits well. I don't mind the length of them, actually. Just put so many miles. These are past 100 miles for me. I just want to go back to something that I really like. Plan for this run, we're going to go get at least 12 miles. Let's go do it. Oh man, another beautiful day out here. Might just start doing a whole series on the Aero Goat. Every time I run in the shoes, just call it Goat Talk. This is Goat Talk Volume 1. Get in with me. Man, it just makes me happy to run in something that I like. These are so good. Mile 1, 8:10. Mile 2, 7:53. I remember back when I had a coach, I was driving home from Duke, talking to her on the phone in my old Jeep on the highway, my old Jeep that got totaled. It had the chunky off-road tires. It's basically just a wind box on the highway. I love that thing, but the acoustics are horrible because they're just a box. But I told her, this was after a race I did where I was excited. I just ran a good time. And I told her I wanted to run sub 2:30 for the marathon and sub 1:10 for the half. And those were my lifetime goals, where I could eventually see myself hitting them. And she basically laughed at me. And said something to the effect of, it was a cute idea, but you have to take a little bit off at a time, etc., etc. I think she might have quit running, and I know she's no longer coaching. The other week I was talking about how a lot of marathon training comes down to eliminating variables. With a shoe like this, and I don't have to think about it at all. I'm just bopping along here. Oh man, the August chill, so pleasant. It finally feels as nice as it looks out here. Just a lovely, gorgeous, and marvelous day for some mileage. Mile 9. My legs are cooked. Didn't know how I was gonna feel this morning. Do not feel good, so we're gonna cap it at 12. Last mile, man. Anybody know who Bill Watterson is? He's the creator of Calvin and Hobbes. Now, I was reading one of his books where he goes through all the strips. He talks about the creative process. And one of the things that's stuck with me is he talks about how each strip needs to make perfect sense to somebody who's never read a Calvin and Hobbes strip before, but it also needs to fit within a broader narrative and make sense for the reader who's checking the paper every day for the latest Calvin and Hobbes. Sometimes I feel that way about the channel. Goat Talk Volume 1, The Musings of a Mileage Maniac. You can't really call it goat talk unless we're doing goat activities. You know what I mean? I didn't feel great, but Monday morning, we got to set the tone. I actually said last mile there on mile 12, but I felt that I needed to push and get some more. So I ended up going 15, 2 hours, 5 minutes, 53 seconds, 8:22 pace. That's not a recovery run right there. That's a mileage strength builder, because yesterday I went 21 with 12 at marathon pace, and a lot of people are scared to do long marathon tempos because of the recovery. But if you properly train and you're accustomed to running solid mileage, you'll recover. I mean, look at that. I just banged another 15 right there. So I was telling Charlie last night, man, I'm hungry. I'm hungry to get some mileage. I am hungry to get some pace. I'm hungry to really give it some gas. And I was looking at my mileage over the past few months, and it's been disgusting, sickening, and repulsive. Oh, family vacation. Oh, my wife's birthday. Oh, work travel. Yeah, great excuses, guy. Makes me sick. So we're going up 100s, 110s, 120s. I'm not messing around anymore. Got to get back in that mode. is Goat Talk Volume 1. Let's go. Refuel time. I don't even know what we have. So it looks like we are in emergency lunch territory. I'm going to make this bronze cut pasta. It says it cooks in 10 to 12 minutes. It's tricolor rotini. So some emergency pasta action. I'm going to go some bread for additional carbs. And I'm actually going to see if we have any protein sources in the freezer. Charlie's been calling it the grocery store out there because we have an entire other fridge and she just keeps random stuff. So why don't we actually take a trip to the grocery store and see what there is? Man, desperate times call for desperate measures. I'm hunting for calories this morning. Look at this. I even have my hunting shirt on. Grocery store. She's been hyping it up. Let's see if it's all that. Oh, those are her birthday cupcakes. Old feta cheese that they accidentally gave us because we're vegan and she never returned it, I guess. So that's been sitting in there for a few months. Not exactly the type of grocery store experience I was looking for. There we go. Boom. Impossible chicken nuggets. And we got a bunch of ice cream in there too, baby. Bang. All right. That pretty much saved my lunch right there. Shout out to Impossible Chicken Nuggets. Putting in absolute work. Let's go. Hey. Last week we broke the plant container there. We just had a comedy of errors last week. We accidentally broke the plant container. This is when the AC was out and everything. It just went. So she got a new one. I like it. Looks very geometric and modern. So this is the part of the program where we got to start throwing calories at the body because I just went 21 yesterday and 15 this morning. And the biggest danger and also the biggest barrier for a lot of people to increasing mileage, or at least people who are fit and have been running for a while, I don't think people realize the caloric demands and also the carb demands of high mileage. Because you do a run like I did yesterday, 21 miles with 12 at marathon pace, those glycogen stores get wiped out. And a lot of people underestimate how much carb they actually need. So I'm doing this super quickly. Some Aldi raspberry preserves with the bread, just quick digesting carbs. And then I'll get the pasta with the Impossible chicken nuggets. Hopefully I can find some vegetables or something to throw in there. If not, we'll have some vegetables at dinner. But yeah, I'm really trying to stay on top of the carbs right now. I can just feel my legs. They have that heavy glycogen depleted feel. So this is step one right here. I did find some vegetables. We're going green peas, bust down pasta. We're doing tricolor rotini with green peas. It's about to be a movie out here. You don't even know what's coming. So I'm still plugging away on this lunch build right here. It's taking some time. But what I wanted to show you is the new electrolytes I've been using. My friend Jim put me onto these because I was doing the Element for a while. I liked the Element, but I was also trying to find something new. And my friend Jim showed me this. It's called Relight. It's actually made by Redmond's salt. And it's funny because we use the Redmond salt. You might have seen this before. I'll probably use it in my pasta here, so it's not completely flavorless. But look at this. Redmond real salt. I thought this was a genius product idea. They came up with an electrolyte powder. And the cool thing with this, and I'm not a huge nerd about the nutrition stuff, but my friend Jim was telling me he likes it because it has the full electrolyte profile. So you have magnesium, you have chloride, you have sodium, of course, you have potassium, and there's also coconut water powder, which is pretty crazy. And it tastes fire. So this is the lemon lime flavor. I also have the strawberry lemonade. That one is sweet for sure. And then he was telling me the grape is also pretty good. I saw they have a watermelon lime. and then they have something else. I can highly recommend this lemon lime, though. I'm usually not a lemon lime type of guy, but this one is really good. So that's my plug for today. Shout out to Relight electrolytes. They are fire. Oh, you can also get them on Amazon, which is nice.
In 2 minutes. Okay,
Weapon work. Man, I love you. Whole squad getting active on a Monday. Let's go.
That's funny. Can we beat that one time? Probably.
But you put it under the water.
It would probably be kind of gross if you did that, though, right?
Look at that beautiful woman. All right, this is the lunch. It was quite the production, and now we have random children running around here. But tricolor rotini pasta with a nice lemon cream sauce. You can see it's on the noodles there. I put some vegan parm on the top as well. The Impossible chicken nuggets, that's a lot of calories. I'm just going to try to eat as much as I can before the double, and then we will get back out there. And then this is the coffee for today. Helm, which I got from Brakeman's here in Matthews. Okay, I'm getting yelled out. Charles got from Brakeman's. I meant to say we, but I said me or I. That was inappropriate. How's the pasta?
It's solid.
Solid? Okay, not flavorless?
It's well seasoned.
Ooh, she said it's well seasoned. All right, one bite. Everybody knows the rules.
How is it, Daddy?
Oh, that's actually good. Yeah, this. Yeah. Basically just butter, salt, pepper. That's fire. Boom. So I put in decent work on that pasta right there, finishing my coffee. What I did want to show you all, though, is, well, we're cooking up merch, but let me show you what I was trying to show you. Sneak peek of the new Supwell app that we have coming, just to show you all what we've been working on. So you're going to be able to get all your running activities in here. This is still MVP prototype. We're still working on the UI. We're still building out the features, but just high level so you can see what we're cooking up. You'll be able to track all your runs in here. This is my legit run data, and it's just so cool because, man, it was such a process to connect all the APIs and everything. You have to apply to Garmin, apply to Coros. They review everything. So we finally went through that. Shout out to my guy Phil, who's the developer, been working on this. We finally went through all that. We have the legit data in here. It's just so cool to see this come together from nothing. And I know it doesn't look like much, and it's still not much yet, but just if you've ever worked on a technology product, you know how cool this is to just start to see it come together. So all the run data is going to be in here, and all the run data legitimately is in here, which is just awesome to see. So far we have Coros, Apple, and Garmin. I was telling Phil that's probably all we need for now. If you use Google or Samsung, let me know. We can set those up as well. It's just haven't prioritized it because I think it's going to be such a small segment of people using those. But yeah, we have the forums here. You can see those are all tests. We'll have the same tags and the same capabilities, or just same different parts of the forum that we have now. So deals and discounts. Also have a news and leaks section, random section, reviews, help me train better. A lot of people post random stuff on the Supwell app, which I actually love. Then you'll be able to search and everything. Marketplace, of course, we don't have any test data in here yet, but you'll be able to, I think what's the cool thing here is this is all going to be structured data now. So you'll be able to filter by your size, plus you'll be able to filter by what category. I also want to set up alerts, so you could alert or set up a filter here to be 10.5 race shoes and then get alerted when anything is added. That would be fire. And then you could also do by region. So people always ask me about UK and Australia. Once we have this new custom app live, that's going to be one of my priorities, is just pushing it out, doing more marketing in the UK, EU, and Australia to start building the community there. So this is the marketplace. And again, the UI here is still early stages, but it's a marketplace. It doesn't need to be fancy. This honestly looks pretty good to me. It looks better than Craigslist. Right? What more do you need? And then the really cool stuff here, calendar. So you'll be able to add your own training. This is something that I've wanted to do for a while. So if you're self-trained, you can add, boom, 22-mile day here. It's a workout. You can say, put here 15 in the morning, yada, yada, yada. And then 7 recovery, PM, whatever you want. And then create that event, which is going to be sweet. And then I know this is what everyone's asking about, training. This is all placeholder now. I think this is probably written by AI. Get this out of here. The thing is that people think I have a beef with AI. I'm not blanket against AI. This is where AI is great to help build out some of these features. I know Phil's using AI to get the basic stuff in here, but you can see very early stages here, but this is where all the training plans will populate. You'll be able to buy training plans here. And then once you buy one, it will show up on your training calendar, which is just going to be so cool. And then you'll have all your stats and your data here. So I was going to say it's still early stages. This is not really early stages. This is medium stages of the app. We've been working on this for months now. And again, if you've ever worked on a product like this, you know how much just time, and I mean, he has a full-time job, I have a full-time job, so we've just been chipping away at it, but it's really coming together. So let me know if you have any thoughts on specific features you'd like to see. We also will have the ability to track your shoe rotation and everything. We're still building out some of that stuff, but high level, it's going to have all the same functionality as the current app plus some new stuff. I'm super excited about this. So yeah, if you're part of the community now, let me know what else you want to see. If you're not part of the community, I guess let me know. Let me know what you want to see, but this is super exciting for me, and I think you all are going to love it. It's going to bring together the community aspect with the mileage tracking aspect, with the shoe enthusiast aspect, and there's nothing else like it out there. So I'm pumped about it, man. All right, I'm talking too much about this. We got to go get some miles in. That's what I guess I can talk as much as I want because this is the Goat Talk episode. Goat Talk Volume 1. Supwell doing numbers. Let's go. Run number 2. Oh, man. I left my shoes outside that entire time. How much fly juice do you think is accumulated on them? Go talk. Go talk. I haven't even been talking that much today is the ironic part. But that's why it's goat talk. Real G's move in silence like goats. Real G's move in silence like gnocchi. By the way, speaking of real G's move, I don't know why I did strong on that one. I actually meant to say weak. But I was thinking about real G's, the Lil Wayne line. Check out the song Wheezy Face by Domo. Remember Domo Genesis from Odd Future? I was never a huge Odd Future fan. I like some of the Earl stuff just because he can really flow. but I've never been a big Tyler fan. I tried to listen to the Tyler album recently, and it was just... It almost seems like whenever he's rapping, he's making a mockery of rap. Like he's making fun of rap music. But Domo, he's one of the most fire rappers out of the Odd Future collective. I was never a huge fan, but check out the song Wheezy Face by him. It's on this new mixtape. I was just searching for new music last night, and it's with a collab or with a producer named Grey Matter. And dude, he is spitting bars up there for one of the best flows that I have heard this year. Just absolutely wild. Wheezy Face by Domo. Anyway, we got 8 miles. Goat talk. We had to hit him with the 23 piece today. 23-mile day after the 21-mile long run. So that's 44 in the past 2 days. I'm back in my mileage bag. I'm ready to go. I don't even know if I have much more to say other than we're pushing up on him. Boom. Man, I had a moment of panic when I was out there. You ever have a moment of panic where you think you got the time wrong or you're gonna be late for a meeting? For some reason, I knew what time the meeting was, but for some reason my mind just started playing tricks on me that I got it wrong and that it was actually earlier and that I was gonna be late or I missed it and all this stuff. I didn't, but that was my mind playing tricks on me. But what I was gonna say was, man, if there's one thing about the training, the talks, the advice, the tips, the guidance that I give on this channel, I will never tell you to do something. I don't really ever tell you to do anything, but I will never share something and say this is the way to do it unless I have personally done it or I've seen somebody else do it who I know. But unless I've personally done it, really, I'm not gonna tell you to do it. And that's the whole thing with the 16-mile tempo that we put on the 5 best marathon training workouts. It's just been getting to me because there was a lot of it sparked a lot of conversation, but the reason why I do it is for the mental toughness. And the way to do it successfully, if you want to do a 16-mile tempo at race pace to simulate the marathon, which I would highly recommend, is to build up to it. If you're doing 16-mile long runs, definitely don't do a 16-mile tempo at race pace. That'll cut you down. But if you're doing 20-mile long runs and 22-mile long runs, and of course this is going to be more relevant for people running under sub-4 marathons who are consistently training and maybe on their second or third race, but if you're doing that and you're putting in the work at marathon pace, if you've done 3x4 miles, if you've done 5x2 miles, and if you've done like what I did yesterday, 12 miles in a long run at marathon pace, I did 10 unbroken and then I did 2 at the end, that's when you can do the 16-mile tempo. And for me, it's all about the progression, right? So I'm not just going to recommend you do something recklessly. It's all about building up to it and working up to it. And that's my entire system. And I want to be 100% mentally prepared and mentally confident on race day. I don't want that guesswork fitness. And I think a lot of the conventional marathon training is what I call guesswork fitness. Oh, run 2x5 miles and you'll be prepared to run. And a lot of the people with the guesswork fitness, and what I mean when I say that is you're just gonna guess that you could run your marathon pace because it's supposed to convert like that on the paper. I don't want that guesswork fitness. I want the blood, sweat, and mileage fitness. I wanna know when I show up on race day that I put in the work. I wanna be 99% confident. So 16-mile tempo, doing wild workouts like an hour at threshold broken up, which was the pain pyramid, right? Those are all the things that mentally prepare us. And the marathon is no different than any other race distance. And the reason why people fade in the back half is because they treat it different than other race distances. They're scared to go 20-mile long runs consistently. Don't be scared. There's nothing to be scared of with the marathon. The wall in the marathon is not this black box thing that may or may not happen to you. If you train appropriately, you don't have to hit the wall. If you consistently do those 2-hour long runs, hit 2.5 hours a few times, build up the time on feet, work consistently at marathon pace, you don't have to have a terrible race. So that's just what I've been thinking about. And today, coming out here, doing 23 in the Aero Goats, absolute banger of a shoe, man. But coming out here and putting down a big mileage day after the long run yesterday, that's the strength. People talk about strength training all the time. this is a very highly running specific form of strength training. I wasn't going fast. We can look at the first run. It was 15 miles at an 8:20 pace, which is super relaxed for me, but that's 2 more hours of work. That's 2 more hours of stressing those running specific muscles, strengthening my body. And then coming out here again in this afternoon, this evening for another hour-long run. That's 3 hours today of running specific fitness up and down the hills, right? So I don't go to the gym, but I build very running specific fitness, and these are the parts of the system: the higher mileage, lots of time at race pace, and then strategic workouts. I don't do a lot of interval training when it's marathon time. A lot of people do these crazy 5K pace repeats, 1 mile repeats. That's not going to help you build marathon specific fitness. That can get your marathon training pace down, but for me, that's what you want to do 4-6 months out. So today, 23-mile day in the Aero Goats. I'm back in that mode, baby, back in the marathon mindset. We just got to get the mileage, and what the high mileage can do for you, it's not going to make your marathon pace feel any more natural. And I was talking to Charles last night, and I was saying, man, that 5:40 marathon pace for me, it feels so unnatural. It doesn't feel like my frame is designed to run that pace. I should have been an 800-meter runner, and the whole U.S. championships were this weekend. And if you look at those 800-meter runners, the guy who won, actually, Donovan Brazier, he is 6'2", 160. That's my exact size and my exact height. I have the build of an 800-meter runner, and training at these fast marathon paces, it does not feel natural to me to hold 5:40 pace for an hour, let alone 2.5 hours. It feels like I'm punching the ground, especially when I'm in an aggressive shoe like the Fast R3. So doing these big mileage days is not going to make that pace feel easier, but it will make me more resistant to fatigue. So if right now I can do a 10-mile tempo at that pace, 5:40 pace, or if I can hold that pace for 10 miles, if I'm consistently running this mileage and doing more work on marathon pace, it's going to make it so, okay, I can do 14 miles at the pace. I can do 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26. You like that? We can count by twos. And eventually we can count by adding 0.2, which would be 26.2. So that's what the high mileage does. And then if you're earlier on in the journey, and I started running 80 miles a week basically right after my first marathon, which I ran a 3:19. And if you're earlier on in the journey, running the higher mileage is going to make your everyday paces feel so much smoother. It's going to start bringing all those paces down. I call it trimming the fat, right? You're just going to clean up those mechanics. You're going to get so much more efficient and comfortable and confident. That heart rate will come down. The best thing you could do if you're training for 5Ks right now, maybe you're doing 5 or 6 mile long runs, the best thing you can do if you have the time for it and the hunger and the desire is to start running 10-mile long runs for the 5K. That is just going to have so many breakthroughs for you within that first 1 to 2 years of running. And of course, you got to work up to it. And this is where the injury risks come into play, especially if you're just coming off the couch, sedentary. But the mileage is huge. So 23-mile day, Aero Goat. Aero Goat's still doing goat stuff, man. There's no other daily trainer that I would take for high mileage. Yeah, the Mag Max is great. Shoes like the Endorphin Trainer are great. Hyperion Max 3 is great. I can't just list all the great training shoes, but this is unique because it just feels like a normal shoe. It feels like the New Balance 1080 V13 or the Saucony Triumph 2021. It just feels like a normal daily trainer, but then I threw down 15 in the morning, 8 in the afternoon, and it feels great. So it punches well above its weight. It's in that top tier for me, and yeah, I'm just getting back to the mileage, so I wanted to reach for something that I really liked. This basically has no flaws for me, and if you look at this side of it, I'm actually not getting that terrible wear. This is the left side. If you look at the right side, this is where we're getting all that wear, and I don't know why it's on the right side, because on some of my shoes it's on the left side more. So this is kind of a weird thing. I did run on the treadmill with this a lot at one point, and then somebody actually suggested that maybe it's because of the way the roads are cambered here or tilted, that one side of it, the right side, was getting more worn down. So that's just, I don't know, you can see right here. That is kind of weird, kind of a weird thing. If you look at the forefoot, we now have 120 to 30 miles. If you look at the forefoot, we are getting some wear down here on the toe off. So I guess that would be the one downside of it, but for me, there's just nothing that can beat this when it comes to the performance, when it comes to the weight. So lightweight for how much foam you're getting, and just the ease of use. Such an easy shoe to run in. So I still prefer this over the Magnify Nitro. This is top of the pile for me. Yeah, I'm gonna have a hard time seeing anything to dethrone this. I think all the main daily trainers came out this year. Of course, there's the Neo Vista 2. I should have mentioned that. That's awesome, but that's more of a high mileage shoe. That actively feels like a soft, bouncy, high stack, long run shoe. That's the shoe that I want to pull for if I want that amped up experience. But some days I want a simpler ride. Now, this is not a low stack shoe or anything like that, but just compared to all the shoes with the plates and the race foams and everything, it still does have a relatively normal feel. So it is an absolute beast. Goat Talk Volume 1. I was trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to say today. Yeah, Supwell App 2.0 is coming soon. Make sure to let me know. Let me know your thoughts on it. I guess also make sure to sign up for the Supwell app. If you're not already, we have the training plans coming soon. Yeah, I think that's it. I also think that was my highest mileage day I ever did in this. Yeah, 23-mile day. And I was thinking too, man, I would love to start doing some 140-mile weeks or 130-mile weeks. It's just time, right? And I think the maximum for me where I would stop seeing any effective benefits for a single day of mileage is right around the 25-mile mark. So 17 in the morning, 8 in the afternoon. So I think my limit's probably 140, but yeah, I'm excited to ramp up the mileage again and just get after it. And again, the mileage at this stage of my running journey, the mileage isn't making me necessarily faster. What's making me faster is running the marathon pace workouts and the faster workouts, but it can make me stronger. It can make me more resistant to injury. It's the baseline volume is what's adding all that strength. People have the joke about dad strength, right? How can dads just randomly pick up a couch? It's because of all the other things that dads have done through multiple decades of being alive. So that's what the mileage is. It's the baseline level of dad strength that's building the strength in the bones, the joints, the ligaments, the muscles, and just making the whole system more well-rounded. And that's not even to talk about the aerobic system benefits and what's going to happen to the cells and the muscles and the mitochondria and how much more efficient we get at delivering blood and oxygen. But the strength is huge. So injury resistance and just the overall build of the volume. So there we go. Goat Talk Volume 1. Salomon Aero Glide 3, still a banger. Oh yeah, we're gonna have the people keep asking about the OG hats. We're gonna have the OG hats coming back soon. I actually have a bunch of them that I've been holding on to for a while. They have the bigger tech, so we're gonna probably sell them on a discount for people, and you can spread the word. You'll be able to get a great running hat on a deal coming soon. Probably drop them this month. We're doing something for the 1-year anniversary of the Supwell app, which is in August, and then of course we'll have the fall stuff, which Barrett has been cooking up. It's starting to round into shape nicely. So there you go. I appreciate everyone. Now I am actually going to be late for my meeting if I don't stop talking. I appreciate everyone. I'll be back tomorrow with another video. Oh, last thing, let me know what other high mileage training shoes do you want to see me revisit. Let me know, because I'm going to just start stacking and racking mileage. Yes, we have the new stuff coming, but I really just want to focus on the training for 5 days here to get back on track with everything and to recenter and to refocus, because I feel hungry, man. I'm coming. All right, I'll be back tomorrow with another video. Goat Talk Volume 1. Feel like Nick Cannon. I got a lot of sons in the ShoeTube game. You know I'm number 1, coming off the brain. The freestyles are fun. You know the flow is crazy. You gotta pay me. 120-mile week? Who you calling lazy? Dirty dancing in the kicks like I'm Swayze. Shout out Charles. That's my baby. I'm vegan, but I gotta get the gravy.